As someone who does videos on YouTube, this is not the first time that I'm gonna need to admit that I don't agree 100% with something that I've said here on one of these videos, and probably not the last. Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. Today we're gonna be talking about skates fitting. And here's a little something. I've said it here on this channel that when people choose skates, they should choose the skates to fit as tight as possible, as long as they feel comfortable. Now, the question is, what is comfortable? Something that you can put on and feels good right away? Something that you need some time to break in to adjust to your foot? Something that you think that it's adjusted to your foot, but when you do certain things, it hurts it? Like if you do jumps or something like that. What is really a comfortable skate? Well, my first experience with downsizing skates was around 2002, 2003, when I went to the US for the first time. A friend of mine had a pair of UFS Throne shells, size 41, 42 laying around. I had some Salomon liners, which were very slim, so I thought maybe if I put the Salomon liners inside those shells, maybe I can fit them. And I did fit them. They felt very snug, and I remember looking down and I really liked what I saw, because I was used to skate with the boot, like the UFS Throne, that was longer, a bit wide, so we used to call it boats, you know. And this was also at a time that I was going from very baggy pants to tight pants. So when I did this trip to the US, I ended up being with Ollie Short a lot. Ollie Short was also doing this change from tight to normal clothes to then going to tight clothes. And I remember when I came back from the US, I was actually using really tight jeans. Really weird, don't ask me why. I think I just liked what I saw, and I probably could relate with a lot of the people that was also doing this change. I don't know exactly 100% why, but it felt different, it felt refreshing. So yeah, I did that change. And I remember with those types of pants, using slimmer, shorter skates looked better. 100%. But I came back to Portugal, and a couple months later, I was picked up by Rams, and later by USD. Now, the truth is, when I started skating for both Rams and USD, I could choose the skates that I wanted. And guess what? I didn't downsize. As someone who is 27.5 centimeters foot length, I usually I'm a 42.5 in most brands, shoe brands. But guess what? I use shoes most of the times 43. And when I could choose the skates that I wanted from any of these brands, either the UFS Rams or from USD, I skated the UFS Thrones, the Classic Thrones, the Greikens, the Sevens, even the Legacies, the Carbon Free. I always skated them in 43, 44, which is usually the shell, 43, 44. And they just felt better for what I wanted to do. If I was skating rails that were a bit steeper, there would be some impact, and there would be no toes hitting the front. At the time, I was even skating these with the shell with a liner from Civica, which was prior to Myfit, the company owned by Powerslide to make footwear, including liners. They had a liner called, I think it was called the 310, which was a very slim liner, very similar to the Salomon liners. But guess what? Again, I went for the bigger size skate with slim liner. And yeah, there was some movement, but I was enjoying that movement, because that movement allowed me to do certain tricks that would be harder with a tighter skate, that would restrain my movement, like even like lateral movement of my ankle. And I know a lot of people say the same. The movement should come from your knees when you do a royale and all that, but there's always a tiny bit of movement on your feet, and that helps. But anyway, you fast forwarded a couple years, we're talking now about like 2011, 2012. I wasn't really skating as much at this time, but Razor Spain sent me a pair of Razor's Cult Streets, and I remember probably I gave them the wrong size and they were 41, 42. So when I put them on, they were extremely tight. So I asked them if I could skate another skate bigger, and I ended up getting some Aragons, I think it was the Aragon 5 or the Aragon 6, the Brian Aragon skates, the SL skates. They felt so comfortable. Again, I upsized and I was happy with that. And from that, whenever I had skates, once again, 43, 44, that was usually my size again. It would be 43. When I started this YouTube channel, I was already working with Powerslide, and I was skating everything like from the ANs or even like the free skates, the Powerslide Imperial, the Powerslide Hardcore Evo, always 43, 44 when it's like a dual size shell or liner. And I had in the shop in South Africa a pair of USD 7s. The shell was 41, 42. This was also at the time that Powerslide already had Myfit liners, and there was a liner called the Myfit Second Skin, which is still on the market, very slim. And I tried it and I could fit and it felt good. Like I was just skating park, period. But they felt good. Now I noticed when there would be impact, my toes would hit the front, but it was feeling good. Time went by and intuition liners started becoming a thing. More and more people were starting to downsize skates. It started becoming trendy. You can hear everyone talking about the performance feet, it would be better. And I started downsizing almost every skate. Now, a couple months ago, I looked for help with a personal training because of my back. And this person, his name is Danilo, is someone that I know for a long time. And while trying to understand what was happening with my body in order to fix it, obviously we noticed that I was too heavy, but we also noticed that I had lack of movement on my feet. And by movement on the feet, I mean on the ankle, but also on the actual foot. So Danilo noticed that my feet lost movement. Like there's some exercise that you can do, which is like grabbing a towel with your toes. I couldn't do it. When this happened, I remembered about a conversation that I had with Robert Guerrero, which was like about 2 years ago, like 1.5 years before this happened. And Rob told me that Rob was skating size 43, 44 skates, but in the past he used to use very tight skates. But after living in Peru for a long time, or even in Canada, with the shoes that someone gave him some Vans shoes, and they were like a 43, 44, so he had lots of room for his feet inside, according to what he told me. So when he tried to put a pair of skates that I had at the time when he was with me, it felt like they were really tight, and he said, like, I don't want to go back to that experience again. I like to have my foot being able to move on the inside, and especially after using these shoes. And I thought that was interesting, but again, I kept on using these smaller sized skates because, yeah, I said it on this channel, it's better to have like the skates very tight as long as it's comfortable. Again, what is comfortable? So when Danilo, the personal trainer, told me that my foot was having some problems, and that was actually causing problems on my knees, on my hips, and all these things, I started looking for different shoes, and I found like about different shoes that have like, you know, barefoot shoes, which is a shoe that has like a much wider toe box, or shoes with zero drop that don't have this raised heel. So I looked into all these things and I started getting like some of these shoes. I started walking a lot more with Crocs, and I noticed that my foot started changing. My feet started changing. But I kept on using size 41, 42 skates. And in terms of skates, I remember about 3 months ago, I bought a pair of Sebas. And these Seba CJ Prime 2, the white ones, I bought them size 43. And the reason why I bought them size 43 was because when I had my previous Sebas, I tried to downsize just like everyone else that want to use those Sebas with Intuition and Wizard frames. And they were so uncomfortable. I couldn't keep them on my feet. I kept on hearing people, yeah, but you need to break them in, you need to break them in. What is break them in? Breaking in my feet or breaking in the skates? Because what was really happening was I was breaking my feet by using these skates. So I bought the skates in size 43, 44 or size 43, and they felt amazing. I skated them for a couple weeks and I was really, really enjoying them. Yeah, when I look from the top, they look a little bit wider, but also I'm using a lot of clothes that are much baggier than I used to, so they didn't really felt awkward or anything like that. No one told me those skates are huge. No one told me that. And I remembered about my experience also with the Faction skates with the white toe box. They felt like really, really comfortable by having that white toe box. So while I was filming with these Flying Eagle Enkidu's, I'm also obviously downsizing these. This is a company I work for. These were size 41, 42, and I like them a lot. But every now and then, if I do like a steeper rail or if there's a little bit more impact, I feel my toes eating. I just filmed this street thing with these skates, and yeah, it happened more than once. My toes would hit, and I thought maybe I should try the same skates if I have access in a bigger size. And it happened that I had a bigger size of the same skate, similar skate, different colorway, whatever, but it's a company that I work for. So I had a size 43, 44 of the same skate, shell. And the truth is, I am really, really, really enjoying it. I don't feel that much of a difference in terms of movement, but I feel like a healthy increase of movement, if that makes sense. I feel like my foot is not cramped inside. I have a little bit of movement, but my heel doesn't come up, which is, I would say, probably the most important thing. If your heel is nicely locked, you should be good. So right now I'm in a dilemma. I'm not gonna say it's better to use small skates or bigger skates, but I'm leaving the question open for you guys watching this. What is really better? Is it like having a cramped skate that when you look from the top you have a good view? And with some skates works really nice, like the Damsh mediums. They are actually really, really nice, but still they're not as wide as the mediums. On the mediums, I felt like I had too much size. The same with the Mesmer skates, or the same with the USD Sways. I don't know. I'm a bit lost right now, so I'm trying to understand what should be the right fitting. But right now, in August 2024, I think I don't want to downsize skates again. What is your opinion about this? Let me know, because I'm a bit in a in a crisis here. I would like to hear what you guys think about this, and I would like to know what are your thoughts. I would like to know what are your guys' thoughts about this, because yeah, I think it's an interesting topic. Other than this, I am like in this time of my life that I'm trying to run, I'm trying to change some things, and I'm learning a lot about fitting of things. And I want to share some more of that with you guys and this crisis that I'm going through. And maybe together we can learn something. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like this type of topics. If you don't like it, it's all good. Give me a thumbs down. Let me know what you don't like about this or what you don't agree from what I said. It's all good. We all learn every day. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and like I always say, just don't forget why we all started skating, and that is because it's fun. Cheers. See you soon.